I've learned to control the controllables, try doing those and not dwelling on like what's going on in the world and what I can't control.
Tell me about some of your interests, hobbies, and work.
So I like art and being creative. I like organizing. I don't know if that's really a hobby, but I like basketball and softball. I like being outside. I like spending time with family, extended family, I'm just kidding, and friends.
How old are you?
I am 15 and almost going on 16.
A couple weeks. Okay, so being 15, almost 16, as this virus spreads with the ramifications on society from that, it's had a pretty big impact on your life. What changes have you seen?
Well, at school we have to wear masks and there's one-way halls and we have to sit away from each other, and we don't have very many like all the extracurricular activities have been like limited, and at church you have to wear masks, and like a lot of our activities for young women have to be virtual, and like girls camp and a lot of like ward parties, pretty much, well, they all have been canceled, and different activities and stuff.
How have you had to adapt?
I had to like find different ways to like communicate with others and my friends.
What helps you to mentally stay strong, keep yourself in a positive mindset? Do you have tricks that you do or daily things you do? How do you keep yourself from kind of falling into a negative space through this?
Something that helps me is staying organized. Like, I feel that for whoever, your room like describes kind of how your life is and how messy it is. so I find that when I have my room really organized and clean, it helps me feel like I'm in control and like it's okay. I've learned to control the controllables. Like, I can control my schoolwork and I can control how I communicate with people. I can control like how I keep up with my grades and control how to like keep my room clean and stay on top of things, and control what I hear and what I feel. So I try doing those and not dwelling on like what's going on in the world and what I can't control and what the, I don't know, mandates are and stuff that I don't have any control over.
Socially, you said you've changed a little bit how you keep in touch with your friends and cousins. How have you done that? What have you changed so that you can still stay close even though you physically don't see them as often?
I think getting new apps. Like, before I used to, I don't know, I'd see them more, so I never really reach out or text or call them or anything. But with my cousins, I'm used to not seeing them very much, so I've kind of adapted what I've done with my cousins move that into with my friends. So like with my cousins, we Marco Polo a lot, or we'll duo each other, or we'll text a lot. But then and then I've kind of used that to communicate with my friends a little bit more, and getting new apps like Snapchat and stuff. It has also helped me like not only keep in touch with my friends, but like people who I haven't been able to talk to since last year because they haven't really been in my classes or anything.
So school has changed, and whether you're there and you're wearing masks all day or you're home learning online, how do you press on and make the best of it?
I think just staying positive and like feeding myself things that like instead of like I don't know, there's a lot of positive things that have come out of it, like the teachers tend to be a little bit more easy on you. They're like, oh, I'm so sorry, and then they kind of give you easier stuff to do, so that's kind of nice. But I don't know, you can just focus on things that's come of it, like the school days are shorter, and that just, I don't know, whenever something good happens, just kind of dwell on that instead of thinking of all the things that you're missing out on.
What's been the hardest through all of this?
I think it was the hardest when, like, I didn't mind school online, but it was harder to learn online. And I'm kind of more of an introvert, so it didn't really bother me not staying in touch with people that much. And I felt like it was a good time to have like a break for myself and to like focus on my family more. But it was just hard, like especially last year, like right when everything started, because a lot of the teachers didn't know how to use like Canvas or how to teach online. And I feel like the teachers are a little bit better at that now, but at the beginning none of them knew how to do it, and there's just like a lot of confusion and chaos, and you didn't know what you're supposed to be working on and stuff. Once they kind of got the hang of it, it was easier to stay caught up, but at the beginning it was hard to know what you're supposed to be doing and stuff.
What have been some of the biggest blessings from this?
I think spending more time with my family, because before I was always like going places all the time and didn't really have time to just like spend time with my siblings and get to know them more. And then now I can, like, at the beginning of quarantine, I've been able to like grow my relationships a little more, and like hang out with my siblings and get to know them more. And then that's kind of like trickled on like throughout like the summer, and now like I spend more time with them than I usually would have before. Like having more of an open mind and seeking more truth for yourself. Before the like quarantine and everything happened, I never really focused on the media or politics or anything, but now I like have more of like a search for truth and like knowing what's true, and like I don't know, like seeking more knowledge for myself.
So you're seeking more information than you did before.
Yeah.
Is seeking more information for yourself, you feel that's a blessing, that you're more informed and educated?
Yeah.
But what perspectives do you have now and enlightenment, I guess, that you wish you would have known earlier?
I think don't take for granted what you have. Like, even though there's a lot of blessings that come out of hard experiences and like different experiences, I think I would have, before this, I would have wished I didn't take for granted as much as like, I don't know, being able to go to class and go to all these activities and stuff and not have to worry about, I don't know, having your school shut down and like soft closures and stuff.
Thank you for doing this.
Mm-hmm.